welcome to Cooking with Aquarium Thoughts. I'm Dave, and today what I'm going to be making is some food. I'm going to make some delicious zucchini for my Otocinclus. So basically what you need to start off with is a zucchini. I got this at my local grocery store. I happen to buy the organic, just I guess to be on the more safer side. You are going to need a knife to cut the slices. I got my cutting board right here. I got my pot of hot water right now. I'm going to boil it. So I'm going to just turn that on right now so I can get it to boil. Another thing you're going to need is that I use is going to be a vegetable peeler so I can peel off the skin. I'll be right back and I'm going to get the vegetable peeler. As I look for it. So then you get your vegetable peeler, you're going to take your zucchini, you're going to put it in the sink and wash it. So I'm going to go ahead and wash it right now. Wash it real good. I'm not going to be too careful because basically the skin's going to be peeled off anyways. So there we go. So then you're going to take your vegetable peeler. And all you're going to do is basically just peel off the skin. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I like to just peel off the skin. That way it's a little bit easier for them in my opinion. That way they don't have to eat through the hard skin. And then basically what you're going to do is you're going to blanch the zucchini, which is why I am boiling the water on the stove right now. Go ahead and peel it. And basically I do have a team of Otocinclus in my main tank in there. They do eat a lot of the algae out. I do supplement their diet with zucchini. What I do is I just buy a zucchini all at once, I get it prepared, get it ready, and then I actually freeze it for when I need to use it. I will show you what I do to prepare for freezing. This is step one. I also do another thing to actually keep it in the freezer. I will be showing you that as well after we're done here cooking it, or more like just blanching it. So peeling up the skin, that skin. I might save some of this for my red regulars worms, just so they have some vegetables to chow down on. Also raising those for some live food and seeing how that goes. I just started that, and so far it looks good, but this right here is going to be from my Otocinclus in my main tank. That way they have some food in there. That way they're not going to be too starved. Although I think they have plenty of algae in there right now to eat. This is basically more of a supplement for that. So there we go. That's nice and peeled for my standards. I'm going to cut out the ends anyway, so it's not going to be a big difference on that part. So that's going to be scraps. I don't need that part. I'm assuming you could probably use them, but I'm actually going to use a couple of those probably for my worms outside. So basically I'm going to cut out the ends, cut out that end, cut off that end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slice, make little slices. That way I get to actually blanch those for the Otocinclus. Because I'm only going to put like one slice for them. They chow down pretty quickly on them though. I did them thinner last time. I'm going to try a little bit thicker this time and see how they take to it. I mean, typically I put them in one day and they're gone within the day. So I think I'm probably cutting a little bit too thick last time. Or too thin anyways. So now I'm going to cut them a little bit thicker. Not too thick. I didn't like the way the first couple came out, but I'm going to go from here. I think a lot of it is going to be fine. If they don't eat it all, I will just take it out when I need to. I don't even put them into a fork or anything. I just drop them in and they actually fall to the floor. Especially after you blanch them, they should do that. So I have no problems with them floating around in my tank. So right now I'm almost done cutting them. I'm still waiting for the water to boil. Okay, so I have that done. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, about 22 slices. I'm going to cut this one more time because I think that's a little too thick for my liking. So I'm going to slice that one in half. About 22 slices in there for my Otocinclus. They will chow down on that when I put it in there. I'm still waiting for the water to boil, so while that is waiting to boil, I'm going to pause the video here and I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and now the water is to a nice boil. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this zucchini right here that I have cut up. If you want to see it, I have it cut up into slices. So I'm just going to go ahead and toss that in there. Now keep in mind the water I am using is actually not my tap water. Is actually bottled water that I use for this purpose. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this to boil for about 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set my kitchen timer here for 2 minutes. And when that's up, it'll beep, and then I'm going to transfer it into some cold water. So right now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to come over to my water cooler once more, which is kind of on the side of the camera here, and fill it up with some cold water. Nice thing about this water cooler, it provides nice clean water that doesn't have any chlorine in it. Actually, I use it on my TDS, and it's very, very, very low. I think it's like a little bit above zero. I think it's like 0.1 or something like on the TDS meter. Not exactly zero, but it's a lot better than what comes out of my tap, which comes out about, I think it's like 20 or 40 or something. It is kind of a little bit, definitely worse than that. But go ahead and put this over here, and then wait for the water to do its job on the zucchini. And while that's doing that, I'm going to get a little thing to actually pick the zucchini out of the hot water. So here you have it. I got my little thing to pick out the zucchini. And while that's doing that, I am going to get out the next thing I'm going to do after I'm done with the blanching of the zucchini. So just give me a few moments. I'll be back. And it still has 1 more minute to boil. So I'm going to let it do its job there. Okay, so now that is finished. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off so it's not going to be annoying me. So now I can turn off the stove, and my zucchini is pretty much cooked. It should work fine. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take the zucchini out of the hot water and dump it into the cold water over here. Dump, dump, dump. This will stop the cooking process. And I don't like the way that it is floating in here, but I'm assuming that's going to fix itself. I'm actually going to cook the zucchini for, it's sinking, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let that cool off into the cold water here. Take them out of the hot water, put them in the cold, that stops the cooking process. And then we'll have nice blanched zucchini. That way I can go ahead and freeze it. That way I don't have to just waste a whole zucchini, even though it only really just cost me about 63 cents. And that gives me enough for 22 feedings right there. I only put one at a time, and that lasts them about a day. So basically I'm going to let that cool off right there and go from there. So give me a moment and I will get this done, and I'm going to show you how I package it for the freezer. So hold on. Okay. Hello, I am back, and I'm going to show you my next step of what I do before I throw them into the freezer to pick out at a later time when I'm ready to feed these to my fish. So I'm going to take the zucchinis out of the cold water and just place them onto the paper towel right here. That way I get any excess water off. I don't need too much water in there when I freeze them. There's already plenty of water with it to begin with. So I'm going to just go ahead and do this. That way it's not too watery when I throw them into the freezer. As you can see, I do have a device on my table right here, and what that is a vacuum pack sealer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and I'm actually going to vacuum pack them. Give me 1 second, I just need another paper towel. Then I'm going to place on top. So there we go, I got the paper towel on top. That dries them up a little bit more as well. Although, I mean, it's all good water, so if there's a little bit of, it's going to be all basically going to be good for the fish anyway. It's going to be okay because it's going to be non-chlorinated water. So what I do here, then I have the roll of the vacuum pack plastic. So basically I'm going to cut off a couple slices to put in. I'm going to basically have 2 different compartments out of 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the vacuum pack here right here, and I'm going to close it and make some compartments for the zucchini just by manual seal. And once that's done, I'm going to actually put another one in there. That way I have a nice little thing to actually cut through. That way I can save the other one for another point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and do this as well. And I hope I cut that. I hope I put that compartment large enough for a zucchini. It should be fine. I should be able to fit a zucchini in there. So I'm going to make the compartments. I'm going to make 2 different separators for 1 and 1 on each. So I'm going to have 11 of these since I have 22. Let's go from there. And as you can see, I probably messed up. I could probably have made this one larger, but I think that was going to be fine. And then I'm going to close this off on here and make a nice little pouch where I can put the zucchini in. Once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and show you the other 2. I'm going to place the zucchini in there and show you what I'm talking about here. So that should be good enough. So I'm going to take my little package here, open it up on the one end that can be opened, and I'm going to find for this one probably the smallest one I can. So let's see here. So like I said, I think I made this one too small, but that's fine. If I make a mistake, that's fine. It's just no big loss. But there, actually it does fit in there, so I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to put another one on this one side as well. That way for each pouch I have 2 zucchinis that are going to be frozen. So I'm basically going to push that down just a little bit further, and then I'm going to place this on my vacuum packer right here. Close it down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to vacuum pack it a little bit. That way it removes any air. That way it doesn't grow any other kind of like bad things in the freezer when it's frozen. It's actually going to be in my deep freezer, so it's going to be really cold. So I'm going to go ahead and vacuum pack this. So I don't vacuum pack it all the way, so I start the vacuum pack seal, and when it gets a little bit vacuum filled, I hit stop and then I close the seal real fast, so it's still kind of vacuum packed in there. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Vacuum pack, stop, seal, and yeah, it didn't seal good way, but it's going to be good enough for me in my opinion. So I'm going to go from there. Let that seal. And there we go. We got 2 zucchinis that are going to be stuck into the freezer. I'll bring this a little bit closer so you guys can see. It's not as well vacuum packed as I would like, but it's going to be good enough for now. So these are going to be thrown into the freezer, and then when I want to feed my Otocinclus that I have in my main tank, I pull them out, I put them into a bowl of water. That way they thaw out and go from there. So anyways, and then I can throw them in my tank for the Otocinclus to feed. So I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. I don't need to make this video longer than it has to be. So I'm going to end here. And this is just what I do for my Otocinclus to supplement their diet. If you want to do it with other vegetables as well, you could do this for other vegetables. I mean, the last few times I've been doing zucchini. I might later on maybe decide to go with a different vegetable, just to give them some more balanced diet. But this is what I'm using right now. This is what I ended up going to the store for tonight. For 60 cents, I get 22 feedings, which is going to probably last me actually a couple months to begin with, because it's not like I throw one in there every day. They do have plenty of algae in there to feed off of, so they have nice round bellies. So that is my video for the day. As far as the shout out goes for today, the shout out for today is going to be basically another channel I do subscribe to. If you don't subscribe, you should probably check it out and consider it. It's one of the larger channels. It's probably still small, but it's definitely larger than me, although a lot of these channels I do shout outs for are larger than me. This is another channel I do enjoy watching. I'm subscribed, I get the bell, but it's going to be Peck Tech. I'm sure most of you guys already watched them, but I'm just going to give them a shout out on this video. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. Anyways, as normal, have a great night, day, or whenever you're watching this. Thank you.